Good morning, ladies. Buenos dias. I'm told that there are 2,600 of you here today from as far as Riverside. Is Riverside in the house? Pomona, Inland Empire, Los Angeles. All right. Well, listen. I want to know who's in the audience. Okay. I want to know who's in the audience. By a show of hands, how many of you are first generation Americans, meaning you're the first in your families to be here in the United States? All right. How many of you are going to be the first ones in your families to graduate high school here in the United States? First ones in your families to go to college? All right. Look around. That's important to understand. I'm a first generation college student myself. So as it was introduced, I came to this country when I was 5 years old. From the ages, from the ages of 5 through 13, I, like many young people, currently, right now, and before, was undocumented. I was born in El Salvador during the Civil War. My parents, my mom immigrated here to the United States. My mom is salvadoreña, my dad is from Zacatecas. Moved to East LA, where I'm from. That's right, we got East LA in the house. So between the ages of 5 and 13, I was undocumented. But luckily, I had a pathway to residency, citizenship, and I became a US citizen in my early 20s. My 4 younger sisters were born here in the United States. We went from a family of 7, my mom, my dad, my sisters, and I, with no voting power, until I was able to become a citizen, and I was the only vote in my family for a family of 7. When my sisters turned 18, they registered to vote. My mom recently became a US citizen, so she now is a voter. That's right. And now we're in the process of my father becoming a citizen as well. So we went from no votes to 1 vote to 5 to 6 to 7, hopefully very soon. And that, ladies, is the power of our Latino community. That is the legacy of our gente. So my name is Wendy Carillo. I'm newly elected to the State Assembly, proudly representing the district where I grew up and where I live. And I ran for office because I believed that we need to have people just like you and I at the table where decisions are being made about our bodies, about our community, about the future of this nation, about women's rights, whom we choose to love, climate change, science is real. And I believe that we need to have our voices represented at the table. So I ran 2 special elections back to back. I ran for Congress, came really close, didn't win. The assembly member of my district won that race. And I decided to run for his seat, and I ran against 11 other men. The only woman running a viable campaign. I'm gonna tweet that photo out so that you guys see it, you ladies see it. Hashtag she persisted is a real thing. And now you all have the power to do the same. And I want to share some personal moments with you all. When I was your age, when I was sitting in those seats, not too long ago. So as I mentioned, I'm the first one in my family. I'm also a first generation American, first generation high school graduate here, first generation college student. But it wasn't always easy. In high school, I hit a really rough patch, and I dropped out. I went to Roosevelt High School and I dropped out. But luckily, I had teachers that were looking out for me. And I was able to re-enroll, come back in, make up my classes at night school. I was a year and a half behind in school. So it would have been my junior year. I really was sort of like the end of my 9th grade, beginning of my 10th grade year. And I had to make all those credits up in order for me to be able to graduate on time. And I did. And it was hard, but I did it. Because I refused to be another girl from East LA, immigrant, working class parents, English language learner, formerly undocumented, that would be another high school dropout. So I graduated on time with my class, and then I didn't know what I was going to do. So I started working. I got a really good job in downtown LA as a receptionist. I was 17, 18, 19 at the time. And at 19, the company that I was working for, which was a really great company, and I thought, I was making decent money, I had my life together, had a downsizing, meaning they had to let people go. And my boss, really dropped some knowledge on me. There was 2 receptionists, and I thank her for that every day still to this day. There was 2 receptionists, we were both the same age, and she brought me into her office and she said, Wendy, we really like you and we would like to keep you, but we can't, because we could only keep 1 receptionist. And she said, the other receptionist is going to college, and you're not, and we can only keep 1. So that whole day, my world turned upside down. I left, I got, let go, I got my little paper, my last check, and I said, never again will I allow somebody to tell me what my worth is, because I do not have an education. So I went to East LA College, I enrolled, I started taking classes, and before I knew it, within about 1.5 years, 2 years, I had enough credits to be able to transfer. So I transferred out to Cal State LA, which I love, the CSU system. Got a degree in communications. I wanted to be a speechwriter, rhetorical communications and persuasive speech, Chicano studies. And I was able to graduate. And just like that, I had a degree. So started working, and then started working for the Obama campaign, and really did what we could to get him elected. Worked in a lot of campaigns. Started my radio show on Power 106. Was there for 10 years with Big Boy and Yessi Ortiz and all my other friends that I met in radio. And actually hosted the executive director of this conference, Stella, to come onto the show and bring some of the young women to talk about their experiences as well. So I decided that during that time, I wanted to go to grad school, and my dream school was USC. So I started studying to pass the entrance exam. Did that and got accepted, started grad school, and then before I knew it, I was graduating with a master's degree at USC. This once girl that dropped out of high school was achieving all these things. Why? Because I said I wasn't gonna allow that anybody was gonna tell me otherwise. I can and I would. And I want you to look at each other across this room. There are 2,600 of you. If you were to close your eyes right now, and let's practice this for a moment. If you were to close your eyes right now, what kind of life do you envision for yourself? If you close your eyes and you wake up each morning, what does your bedroom look like? What do the sheets on your bed look like? When you go and get ready in the bathroom, what are you putting on? Ladies, what are you putting on? Are you wearing a suit? Are you wearing a uniform? What kind of car do you drive? Where are you going to work? Start thinking about what your life is like. And think about making goals for yourselves as to how you're going to get there. There are so many young women that you know could have been here today. So many of your little sisters, friends from school, your neighbors. There are only 2,600 of you, and this auditorium is filled. But we know that there are so many other young Latinas that could be here right now, experiencing this moment, learning, getting to know each other. And they're not here. You are in a very privileged situation, position, where you are networking, where you are learning, where you are growing, when you are taking these experiences hopefully back home to your friends who were not able to be here today and sharing that, because the only way that we advance as a community is if we bring other women with us. And right now there is a movement. There is a movement for more women, more Latinas to have a seat at the table where decisions are being made, and you get to be a part of that. Life is not always easy. It is often very hard. When I go to events like this and people think, well, you're an assembly member, you have all these resources and privileges, you have to remind people where you come from. You have to know where you come from in order for you to know where you are going. And you have to remember the sacrifices and honor the sacrifices of your parents. How many of you have immigrant parents? Okay, that's a lot of you. My mom, when she first came to this country, cleaned homes and babysat other people's children so we could have some food on the table and a roof over our heads. My father worked as a dishwasher in a Chinatown restaurant here in Los Angeles. They continue to be hard-working immigrant parents with a lot of pride, a lot of orgullo. And the one thing that they always emphasized was be proud of who you are, be proud of where you come from, and represent your community in the best of your ability. So now, I have the distinct honor of honoring their sacrifices. And let me tell you, when I won and we went to Sacramento, our state capital, and I brought my parents onto the chamber floor, there's this beautiful green carpet, beautiful chandeliers in the state capitol. My parents looking around. Think of the journey that they've had, crossing borders, starting in a new country, not knowing the language, raising 5 young daughters, learning to understand a system, hoping that we would make the right decisions. And now they're there in the people's house, your house, because we belong there. People often say, I feel so lucky where I'm at. I shouldn't be here. No, you should own the spaces where you walk in. You should own the seat where you sit. You should own who you are and what you represent and the people that you bring with you. We are a proud community. We are proud women, and we deserve all the greatness that the state and that this nation has to offer. But you have to work hard. Nothing will ever be given to you, and so you have to say, I want it. I can and I will. I want you to say that. I can and I will. Every morning, I can and I will graduate. I can and I will go to college. I can and I will get a good career. I can and I will make all the money. I can and I will help my parents. I can and I will help my community. I can and I will be a great representation for my community, and I can and I will bring other Latinas up with me. That is who we are. So, I hope that you meet a lot of friends today. I hope that you take the lessons of today seriously. I hope that you understand how much people worked to get you here. And I'll leave you with this. This is one of my favorite quotes. And when I'm feeling down and I'm feeling unsupported and I'm feeling like I need something, I would suggest 2 things. Find a song that inspires you. Music has this ability to change our moods, right? Have you ever heard a song and it makes you really happy, and another song it makes you really mad? Another song makes you really sad, makes you think of, your ex or whatever. And then you change it, like, I don't want to think about that person anymore. Right? So music has that kind of power. You have to find the music that's going to motivate you to go and reach higher and reach for more. I have a couple of songs that I'll share later on Twitter. But right now, Finesse is one of my favorite ones by Bruno Mars and Cardi B. And Cardi B is doing amazing stuff right now, too. So I'll leave you with this quote. It's by Cesar Chavez. And think about this, internalize this. because we are part of a movement that's bigger than ourselves right now in this moment. And I hope that you get engaged politically. I just got elected. I need more women, more Latinas, more young people like yourselves to understand the significance of our political power, because we cannot allow what's happening on the federal level to continue to target our communities, where most of our communities are scared. The realities of what's happening across our nation right now is real. And so many of you, maybe have walked out yesterday and perhaps have been participating in some of the issues with young people and gun violence in our schools. I hear you. I know that there's a lot of fear. And we are doing everything we can to ensure that young people in their schools feel safe, and that we are providing the resources and opportunities that you need to be successful. So get involved, get engaged. In fact, if you go to the website of my office, we have a scholarship for Latinos right now, 2 $1,000 scholarships. The application ends in June, so please apply, get it. But let me leave you with this quote by Cesar Chavez. He said, "Once social change begins, it cannot be reversed. You cannot uneducate a person who has learned to read. You cannot humiliate the person who feels pride. You cannot oppress the people who are not afraid anymore." And ladies, are we afraid? No. Are we going to persist? Yes. That's right. So take everything that you learned today, go out, go get it, go get yours, and represent your community and your family in the best ways that we can. Sí se puede. Y adelante. Thank you.